Yes, hello everyone and welcome to the DES GT3 series, and this is the Watkins Glen 6-hour race. And this is the Stint 4 for Lobby 1. So yes, the gaps have been posted, so yeah. The top looks like it's one team that's well, driving away with it at the moment, it seems. I can see the DLL team having a 51-second lead before the last stint here. Then we have the two RRC teams are within 51 and 57 seconds. They are in the second lobby. And then for this lobby we have GT7 driving here. They are 54 seconds behind the leader, so yeah. Look at the gaps real quick. It sure looks like it's one team that is favored to win, and that will be the DLL team, but there's still a long 1.5 hour stint to go, so everything's still possible, so yeah, I think we're probably starting maybe in a few minutes. I think we're still trying to sort the lobbies so that everyone is in the correct lobby for the this last stint, so yeah. So let's see what type of cars we have here. We have the Genesis Group 3 car here. Then we have a Mercedes here. Yeah, they are very typical to see in the GT3 classes. Is it a Mustang? Yeah, that's a nice choice, even if I say so myself. What else? We have a Honda NSX here. Then we'll have a GTR here as well, so yeah, good variety of cars for sure. So yeah, some drivers are getting a bit of practice in before their stint here, so yeah, most of the drivers are staying in the pits. So we have we have a Porsche, Renault, RS01, then a Supra, and lots of different cars, so this should be fun. We have a Mazda Vision GT3, Audi R8 and whatnot, so yeah. Tower on the softs looks like it's somewhat high actually on this track. Like yeah, so you really need to take care of your tires here, it seems like. Main thing is of course having enough pace, but yeah, another factor is of course, like always in endurance racing, these strategies. So you can save one pit stop to your rivals while still having enough pace. I mean, that's gonna be vital, so. Hello. Can you hear me?
You're streaming?
Yes, I'm streaming.
Yes, that's fine, because I thought I'm host, so I can commentate with you.
Yeah, that will be fine. Yeah, sure.
And I try to invade neutral now.
Yeah, so we're about to start now. So yeah. Here we go. Right, so already I can see the P1 driver here in the Genesis pulling away slightly.
Charles already in the rear of Powersway.
Yes, it's very close. Not sure the Vision GT3 car is the best in a straight line. The Mercedes has always been very strong, but they managed to stay ahead in the bus stop chicane. Yeah, then we have the Renault here and the Porsche going for a move, perhaps, but just gonna stay behind for now. Oh, there's side contact. Ex-Bosworth saves the tank slapper and loses the position for the moment to P5. Little bit of an aggressive move from the Immense in the Porsche, but they make it happen. So good hard racing there. GTR driver is also getting very close and comfortable with the Renault ahead, but for now they stay behind in P6.
At the front, Flipsy can pull away, but Powersway looks a bit struggle, and all he has a lot of cars directly behind him.
Yeah, so this is an ideal place for the leader, because he has everyone fighting behind him, scrambling for every position they can get, but he's in the lead, driving in clean air. The fight keeps going on here in P4, P5, P6. Seems to be where the most action is. So let's see. Charles is up to 5th, but loses the position to 6th, to 7th in one corner. Wow. Okay.
Charles has damage. He has a lot of damage.
Ah, yes.
Front.
Indeed. Front and rear. Yes.
Front, rear, and front left suspension damage.
Yeah. So
I don't know if it was a collision or if he hit a wall in the last corner or somewhere else.
Yeah, he may have hit the wall. Usually, you have to hit the other car pretty hard if you get that much damage. And I mean, if it's front and rear damage, it would suggest he maybe at least hit the wall for a while. So, but I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. The fight keeps going on in P5. She's having a bit of power slide moment, but stays ahead for now. But now they're side by side with Bosworth, the Renault. Tries to go and move from the outside, but can't quite make it happen. They stay behind for now.
And even with damage, Charles overtake we Z4 guy.
Yeah, he's fighting to try to stay with the pack here. He's getting scrappy in the rear. He's definitely, you can definitely see he's in an inferior car now with the damage. So yeah, it's not easy. Fight keeps going on. Charles goes for an inside move and up to P8, the DLL car. So this is a very important stint for that team. Looks like he's coming to the pits, maybe. Yeah, yes. He has to pit in for damage. This is gonna be massive for the race overall. DLL had a 51-second lead before the stint, so yeah. I mean, you can see soon from the gaps like what their net loss is going to be here. So yeah, basically. They haven't now gonna have an extra pit stop in this stint, so that's not a good start.
We also have front damage for Bosworth at P6. Only front damage.
Yes.
Nothing big, but it will lose time, especially on the straights.
Yeah, you lose a bit of time. This is maybe doable just with front damage, like with the damage physics out there at the moment. I think just the front damage you can probably stay out. So there, you're gonna lose some time, but you're better off than instead
it's
of
still
pitting.
drivable like normal, only a little less top speed.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be difficult for him to overtake.
Yeah, that's gonna be the difficult part, and it doesn't help either that the Renault isn't the strongest on a straight line, although it's not too bad either. But yeah, so it's gonna be challenging to make moves happen after T1. That's the
We have a fight for P9 King Roan versus the Z4 driver, side by side.
Yeah, so the Z4 driver here and Robin in the GTF team is getting very close to the R8. But for now they stay as they are. The R8 driver Johan stays ahead in P9. Right, let's see. So the yeah, indeed, all the fighting has helped the leader here. They have a 2.8 second gap here.
At the front, Dennis catch up to Power SV.
Yes, so we have P2 and P3 there. Really close proximity. Let's see if the Porsche has enough grunt here in the straight here. I think they have to back off here probably. Yep. So they stay in P3. Ooh, they try to go for a cheeky inside move there, but they decide otherwise. They had a bit of a look, but yeah, not close enough for a move. Okay.
Shishai Man P5 has half a second time penalty. I think he will lose at least one, perhaps even two positions against Bosworth and Caravaggio.
Yeah, it's very close if they lose two. I think it's maybe around 1 second you lose when you serve a penalty, so it's gonna be very close. Right, so they're gonna serve their penalty now, so Bosworth's gonna get past them for sure. I think. Yes. Let's see the Roadrunner Joe in the Mustang. No, Bosworth stays ahead. That's impressive. They outbreak the Mercedes driver there. Think the RSCGs might have got a bit of a weaker exit in the corner before the Bosworth served their penalty, so they stay behind for now, still in P6. Bosworth's fighting nicely even though they have front damage, so but yeah. They're losing time to the top 4 here. They're already almost 9 seconds from the leader and 4.3 from P4.
Looks like he tries to break with slipstream for Shishai Man.
Yes. So P4 here, Ketty has a half second penalty, so they're gonna probably lose slipstream range from the second and third place drivers here, so yeah, not good. I think the slipstream isn't that important here, but it's still gonna be very helpful on the long straights, so especially since it's partly uphill, so
half a second time penalty for Ketty at P4.
Yes.
So that's gonna lose a bit contact to two drivers in front.
Yes, closer to 1 second is what they're gonna lose. Right, so for the overall fight this is already vital. DLL Charles had to make an early pit stop due to extensive damage, so they're already 38 seconds behind the leaders, and I mean, yes, the gaps were 51 seconds before the stint. This is really gonna change the overall race perhaps, so it's gonna get it's already much closer now. Yes, I'm looking at the chat. That's interesting to hear. Thank you, Great Johnny91 for that. So apparently Charles Wheel just disconnected all of a sudden, so that's very unlucky, but yeah, such as sim racing, you can experience some technical issues, even though this isn't like the real thing. So yeah.
The field driver is just overtaking Roan, so it looks like we both will have a lot of fights together at this race.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And Bosworth always tries to break with slipstream aggressively.
Yeah, we will see what the stewards think of that. So they're really trying to fight the deficit of having the front damage on this race.
I think it's okay, it's not forbidden, but I don't know if it's useful or not with him, because I think he's too far away that Shisha Man could attack him.
Yes, I think to some extent it's useful, but I mean, yeah, you shouldn't do it too much either. Then you're gonna lose time.
I think Shisha Man is clever enough to stay behind and to follow him.
Yes, yeah, that's a good choice, honestly. If you feel like you maybe don't quite have the pace of the driver ahead, just use your slipstream and get pulled by them along and for decent race pace. So
we have half a second penalty for Caravaggio on P8.
Yeah, so looks like they lose the slipstream range for now in the Mustang here. So
what tire we have for Mustang doesn't look good.
Yes, indeed, they have a lot of front left tire wear, so yeah, it's not looking good if I'm being honest. I think on lap 9 their tires are gonna be shredded already. So yeah, they probably have to pit after 9 laps. If they do more, they're gonna lose time everywhere with the dead front left tire. So it's very interesting how much the tire wear can vary here between drivers, because Nile in the Supra head, their tires are in good shape. They have maybe like let's say 25% in the front left tire. Right, P2 and P3 are really close to each other, but I haven't seen too many changes in positions, so perhaps they are just using each other's slipstream here. And instead of deciding to fight, they just want to keep up a good pace to perhaps catch the leader here.
Oh, Powersway went a bit wide to left, and Dennis goes to the inside and
makes the move happen.
Overtake, but wait, he tries to defend around the outside.
Yeah, you're not gonna make it happen from the outside, so they fall behind now. So roles reverse, but they're still running close to each other here. So
yes, nice battle between them.
Yes.
Red Bull behind, Katie at P4 again has half a second time penalty. Good for Bosworth, who can catch up a bit.
Yes, a little bit. Probably 1.5 seconds, I think, after this penalty serves. So. And also I can see the GTR driver is struggling with tire wear. They already have 2/3 worn pretty much, the front left tire. So yeah, they're soon gonna start to struggle massively. So okay, looks like they still have a 1.7, 1.8 second gap to Bosworth in the Renault, but it's gonna get closer because yeah, Bosworth stars are slightly better, but to be honest, it's not a marginal difference. So it's very interesting that some drivers are so much able to drive in such a way that they are more gentle on the tires, because I can see there's gonna be a few laps differences even here, even though GT3 is supposed to be very balanced, but still there are gaps, that comes from driving style and also car characteristics. So yeah, I think P2 and P3 are basically just staying close to each other, but if a gap opens up, they go for it. So I think they're really trying to stay with the leader to not let them break away too far. Right, so for the moment it's a little bit, that's again become a little bit more quiet. So drivers are having small gaps or bigger gaps between them, but they're not fighting correctly. So
wait, we have a P5 to 7. Shisha Man is now at the back of Bosworth, and Amnael is
okay, and we also have a good fight now in P9, P10 here between Johan and Robin in the BMW versus Audi.
I think we're fighting the whole race.
Yeah.
For now, and will be.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, BMW driver got to P9 now. Got past Johan driving the R8. So.
And at the back, Charles did a new fastest lap, by the way, 1:44.4.
Yeah, I didn't actually happen to check, but I mean they had to have put new tires on as well. So I think they pit somewhere on, let's see, I think that's probably lap 2 or lap 3. I think that's lap 3, yeah. So they have fresher tires than everyone else, so they really have to push now to try not to lose any more time. But they're still 38 seconds behind the leader, so yeah, they're they can't basically afford any more mistakes if DLL wants to win the 6-hour race. So it's still, you know, not over. But I mean, yeah, I think they used all the well, that's why it's good they had the gap, but now they are, you know, in a tough situation that they can't afford to lose any more unnecessary time. So.
Oh, Amnael, boss war Shishai man, Amnael run at the outside, Roshiken, it doesn't work, but that looks to be a great fight between the 3 cars now.
Yeah, I think we stay here for a while. So Bosworth's definitely struggling on the straights. And
with his damage, where AMG is good, but with Supra is very strong at the end of the straight.
Yes, and it looks like also the Renault is very good in the corners, but so they seem to always pull away slightly in the corners, but then comes the straights. So.
Last lap of Amnoel's was a personal best 45.1. Better than cars before him, on front of him.
Yes, the Supra is a very strong car on this track and also good driving from them. So if they just can't keep up the pace, they can definitely go up to P5 here, I feel like. But and again, you think it's easy to overtake here, but actually, realistically, there's maybe like one good place you can make it happen. Then there are some corners you can perhaps make it happen if the other driver makes a small mistake. But other than that, it's not too easy to overtake. So it's the tire wear. So Bosworth tires are fairly worn out. So the drivers behind him have more tire life left. So they'll definitely also have an advantage in that regard here. So right, let's see. So the gap was 7.5 tenths before the straight, but oh, and Bosworth is a half-second penalty. So they're really losing positions here on this lap. Let's see, do we see a move from she's in the Mercedes? No. So they stay behind for now after the bus stop chicane, but they look for a move, I think, when the penalty is served here by Bosworth. But again, the Renault is pulling up
for leader Flipsy, but it doesn't hurt him too much.
Yeah, I think they just basically fall to like less than 4 seconds of a gap for the drivers behind. Yeah, Bosworth's about to serve their penalty. Looks like they lose 1 position, I think. Yeah, she's going for the move on the outside and makes it happen. So they're up to P5.
Oh.
Bosworth's trying to fight here, and they just stay ahead in P6. So they lose 1 position.
Yeah, but now Renault with a front damage versus a Supra on the straight. That could be difficult to Bosworth to defend.
I think what's gonna happen.
Luckily for him, he stayed in slipstream of Shishai man.
Yes, that's gonna be very important. I think what's gonna happen here, I mean, okay, yeah, the Supra is still behind, but like it's the Mercedes here now in P5, but still, you know, that Mercedes is also fairly good in a straight line, so yeah, their slipstream is gonna be important for them to stay in this, but I don't think they can get close enough for the bus stop chicane. You can see the gap staying almost the same, even though they have the slipstream. Okay, Roadrunner Joe in the Mustang came to the pits. They had a lot of tire wear, so they got all the way to lap 10 still. Yeah, so as I expected, Bosworth caught up maybe 1/10 on the straight, but not more than that, even with all the slipstreams, so they'll stay in P6 here. Let's see. Kitty here in the GTR and P4 ahead. They're 5.3 from the top 3. Running a nice empty gap, but their tires are very much done, especially the front left tire. So I think after this lap is when Kitty's gonna pit in the GTR.
Kava Joe was in the pits last lap. Now he is at last, that's fair. Only 10 laps, that's not much. But
yes,
yeah,
it's gonna be
Mustang eats tires.
Yes, it's gonna be a very long race, and yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe with that car you'd have to think about some alternative strategies, perhaps with using maybe another compound of tire. I don't know. that's a lot of pits you have to do if you pit every 10 laps. So right, let's see. Not so top 4 are fairly spread out, so I think we'll still stay with this battle here. So she is still ahead of this trio of a pack here, the Mercedes. But now Bosworth got a fairly good exit, but yeah, they're 4 tenths behind. So, but let's see the Supra. The Supra is closer in the same slipstream here. The Supra going to go for a move. Yeah, so I'm Neil there on the outside, and they're already ahead before the bus stop chicane. So I'm Neil up to P6 here with the Supra. And the Supra is such a strong car in the straight line, so that's a big advantage for them.
And he has the best tires of 3 cars.
Yes, they're actually taking fairly good care of their tires as well. Considering it's also Supra, I've heard the Supra is not the best in terms of tire wear, so good job by them. Let's see. I think someone came to the pits. Yeah, it's Johan in the R8. So yes, they're last 15 and a half seconds from Roadrunner Joe, who did the pit stop in the Mustang much earlier. Yeah, I think we stay with this trio. Seems to be where the action is. At the moment, at least. Okay, Shees and Bosworth are in the pits. So the Mercedes driver and Renault driver. I think we'll see a few second gap forming up here because Bosworth's definitely gonna fix the front damage. So I think that's, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds you lose to fix the damage. Let's see, but okay, so but what Bosworth basically did here, they didn't refuel, so they have 59 liters, and that's how they jumped the position here. Interesting. So it looks like those 2 drivers might be on a different strategy. I think also the GTF driver here, Robin in the BMW, also didn't refuel here.
Bosworth has only 60% fuel in his tank now, and GT7 has filled up to 80%.
Yeah,
that
I think
could be an advantage for GT7 later on.
Yes, we'll see how that plays out. Then they're still only 2.5 seconds behind Bosworth. So.
And now Charles is fighting back to the front, now at P6. And the front left tire of P4, this kitty, is dead.
Yes, I think so. It's advisable if they come to the pits now.
I think so too.
Lose a lot of pace. Lot of pace now,
P2
basically everywhere.
Dennis is pitting. Power is going on.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. The Mazda is usually very gentle on tires and fuel, so. Right, Amnia stays out in the Supra. They have taken done a very good job in terms of tire wear. They still have some front left tire life left here. So
I think all who pitted now will do 3-stop strategy, and all who stay out can go for 2-stop strategy.
Yes, I agree with that, except for the Mustang. I feel like they have to do 4. So yeah, because they pit already on lap 10, so it's too tough if they try to run with 3 stops. Also the leader has taken good care of their tires, so yeah, definitely looks like first and third drivers are definitely doing a 2-stopper, I feel like, but it's gonna be close for TRG Power SV here in the Mazda. The front left tire is about to die, and I think next lap is gonna be like fully worn out, so it's gonna be tough if they try to make the 2-stopper happen, but it's doable. You lose a bit of pace while doing that, but at the same time it could be worth it in the long run. So for now we're quite spread out except for this fight here, and P6, P7, P8. Bosworth drops to P8. Now in the Renault we have side-by-side action from the Mustang and GTR here. Let's see, so Bosworth showed a penalty, so they'll drop back to closer a 1 second behind P8. But yes, KTM Roadrunner Joe here in the GTR and Mustang. They're having a good fight at the moment. I think also at this point, Roadrunner Joe will have slightly better tires. Like they have a bit of slightly more wear, but at the same time their tires are also in more of an optimal temperature, so it's gonna help them for a couple of laps. They will balance out fairly quickly, so. Right, Bosworth tries to go for a move there to start the straight, but for now they stay behind. Still, they're gonna have another chance here, perhaps in the bust of chicane, but at the same time, Roadrunner Joe is getting a run on the GTR driver here because the GTR driver didn't have the slipstream. Side by side into the bust of chicane. It's a bit of side contact, but they'll all survive. But as a result, Ketty loses 2 positions.
Yeah.
Neither driver wanted to back down, so that's what happens. You get slightly side contact, and yeah, you go from there.
I think it's not a good idea to go side by side through a chicane. So yeah, something has to happen if no one backs out.
Yes, it's kind of like the chicane of death that Dragon Trail sees. I really don't want to go side by side there.
And Bosworth goes down the inside and is in front of Cover Joe.
Yes, I think.
And at back Shisha Man is coming for Ketty and Cover Joe.
Yes, I think Bosworth probably has good pace, but they definitely suffer a little bit from the front damage on the first stint. But now in the situation that they need to pull away enough so that the drivers behind don't get the slipstream, because the drivers behind get the slipstream, they're just gonna hang around in this fight. So
again, how Bosworth always tries to break the slipstream.
Yeah, it definitely must be maybe a setup thing and also a car characteristic. Maybe the Renault is slightly slower in a straight line, and also of course the drivers behind are in this slipstream range, so they'll do everything they can to reduce the time loss, in the straights. So that fight keeps going on. For the moment they stay as they are. Perhaps Cheese is slightly catching up, yes, this trio here, so they're 1.7 seconds behind Lurk in there, and they have more fuel than the trio ahead, so they're in a good position even though they're in P9 now. The rear, not too much is happening at the moment, to be honest, so.
Now front left tire of Power is done at P2, but he tries to go for one more lap. I think 2-stop always has to go for 17 laps. Yeah, I think that's a smart thing to do, because it's overall I think it's maybe let's say 4 or 5 let's say somewhere between 4 and 6 seconds to maybe lose over the race distance, but at
the pit
P3,
stops take much longer, so.
At P3, Amnail has better tires and he has gained 1.5 seconds only last lap. So if he goes further on, I think Amnail could possibly go for a good result. Yes, I agree. Their next focus is going to be that they don't lose too much time in their traffic, because eventually when they come to the pits they'll probably fall right back to that fight with Bosworth, Ketty and Roadrunner Joe, and now apparently also RSC Cheese. But the moment looks like Bosworth has definitely broken
far from the pack, so they have a 2.7 second gap to the P7 GTR driver here. So
who has a half a second time penalty, so he can lose a position to cover Joe.
Yes, it's gonna be close, but
and G7 is also at the back.
Yeah, they're in a good position because they have good amount of fuel compared to the drivers ahead, so they may gain in the end, who knows. But at the moment looks like Bosworth's going for fast laps. Their previous lap is only 23 thousandths of a second quicker than the fast lap done by Charles. So okay, leader is in the pits.
I think we're top 3 will pit now. Power, yeah, also comes to the pits.
Yeah, it's not worth it to do any extra laps here, so let's see.
Also comes.
I hope that wasn't a pit entry line penalty. It's very close, but we'll see. Yeah, the pit entry lines, you in this game you get 3-second penalties, and there it's
I got a 3-second penalty and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a topic for another discussion, but I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too harsh, I think. But, well, it's the same for everyone, so...
Yes. Yeah, it's a difficult pit entry here at this track. Very narrow. Last corner.
Yeah, it's tough to say when you have the penalty. Like, you would think maybe something like, perhaps we should put it to less here because it's easier to take a penalty. But at the same time, what's then gonna happen is everyone is maybe doing the match. Is it more worth it to run full speed to the pits and get a penalty? Or so that's also a thing, because due to the narrow pit entry, you have to drive very slowly to get to the pits. Right, let's see where the drivers scramble out here. So yeah, Henel here in the Genesis definitely put a lot of fuel. They have like around 80%, so they fall to P3 here. Whereas looks like Mense is probably net leader here for the moment, because Charles is gonna have to pit soon. Their tires are about to die, so I think what they have to do is they have to go for it looks like they can go for a 3-stopper perhaps. So they did pit on lap 2 due to damage. So
and Charles, who was last after 2 laps, is now first.
Yes, but they're not net first, so they're soon gonna drop back.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a good comeback, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Expect them still in the top 5, top 6 is possible for him.
Yeah, sure,
because,
looks like it.
Free air, he did consistently very fast lap times.
Yes, I can see here on the timing screen here, mid 44s, high 44s, low 45s. So they have definitely good pace to catch the rest of the pack. That's for sure. Right, do we have any fights going, or we looks like we have a fight between P6 and P7, the Mustang and the Mercedes driver here. So yeah, again, Roadrunner Joe is starting to again have issues with the tire wear, so I honestly think they're probably on a 4-stopper for this race. So yeah, I think that probably means they have to do one 11 lap stint at least, so then they'll make the 4 stops. 4 piece of strategy work, but it's not really optimal when you lose at least 1 pit stop to the rest of the field. So okay, let's see, the She's going for the inside move here, slightly alongside, but they back off, so they stay in P7. Okay, so Amnai, who was doing very well a while ago, they came to the pits and put also a lot of fuel, so it's tough to tell where they are at the moment, but their pace looks fairly solid, so we'll see how it plays out there on a 2-stopper. So
Charles falls down to P3, lost position against Dennis and Flipsy, but I think Charles will come into a pits this lap.
yes, I would agree with that. So surely they have to do after this also 2 more. Wait, let's see. Okay, they probably have to do 1 more pit stop after this. Yeah, yes. So that's probably what they're going for here. So I think they're still in good position to take the overall win, the DLL team. But it's gonna be after this lobby is done, it's gonna be very tough to tell where everyone is going to be because we have the other lobby running parallelly alongside. So and the gaps are very close behind the leader. So
I think before Stint 3, my team has 0 seconds gap between our team, and I was in lobby 1, the other driver was in lobby 2, so I don't know which time he did, and afterwards I found out he was 4 seconds faster than me.
Yeah.
So it could be interesting. But I think it's looking good for Team DLL.
Yeah, Charles is in the pits, so we'll see where they scramble out, and this will... okay, and Roadrunner Joe is also already in. Interesting. So yes, if my maths are correct, Roadrunner Joe in the Mustang might go for a 4-stopper. I think it may involve that they have to do 1 11-lap stint, so they can't just do 10, 10, 10 and then pit on lap 50, so they'll have to do 1 longer stint and just suffer whatever.
Dennis has to do 2 more stops, Flipsy I think only 1. And I think Flipsy will already overtake him on the track in a matter of time.
Yes. Right, so we're perhaps gonna have a lead change here. We're about to see. Think also the Genesis is probably a fairly strong car here. I always thought the well with the we have custom BOP for this series, but I mean in general, you know, the Genesis and Supra have been strong cars here traditionally, so definitely in the Genesis case is the good acceleration that car has out of the corners. But at the same time, the Porsche is better in corner entry because it's more lightweight and nimble. So, so yeah, so we have a 7/10 gap here. We may get slight fight in the straight.
BMW M6 should also be a very good car on this track, but I rarely see it today, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I feel like on this track it's an underrated car. At least when I saw some daily race driving done by some YouTubers, looked like the M6 was a genuine challenger to the Supra and perhaps a Renault RS01 or Genesis here. So yeah, it's a little bit surprising to see only so few BMWs, but at the same time that car is also a little bit challenging, you know, in getting on the power here. So personally, I would probably prefer the Renault on this track because it's easier to get the power down on that car compared to the M6. So. Renault also has the Genesis. They have more fresh tires than the leader, so yeah. I think they want to make the overtake done as soon as possible, but as said, it's not too easy to overtake on this track. If you can't make it happen on the main straight, it's gonna be tough. Because even though the track is, I wouldn't say it's the widest, even though there's some room to make the moves happen, so many of the corners are very much single file here. So
I think we have 2 fights now. Amnael will catch up to King Roan. King Roan on the 3-stop, Amnael 2-stop, but has fresher tires, and we'll battle at the front, Dennis versus Flipsy. Flipsy with a personal best 44.2. nearly similar to Dennis' time.
Yes, and I think now we'll see the Genesis go for P1 here. They're only 3 tenths behind. Two tenths. Let's see, less than 2 tenths. And they even go for the inside line. Surely they make the move happen. So, feel like we have a lead change here now. Let's see. Yes, so Henel goes into the lead in the Genesis. Good move there. And to be honest, I don't think the Porsche driver wanted to put much of a fight here. So, but even still, yeah, the Genesis looking very strong now in this race. Looks like this Stint, and looks like they may take the perhaps take the Stint win here in this lobby. But it's still 50 minutes to go, so we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. Right, and Bosworth is definitely having good pace here. So even though they go for a 3-stopper, yeah, they have pulled away here to their opposition here. So
yeah, Bosworth will fight at the end against Power and Amnael against the 2-stoppers. Even Charles is not far away, perhaps.
Yeah, so if Charles keeps having good pace here, they can challenge Amnael in the Super, that's for sure.
He's on course to do a fastest lap overall. Purple sector 2. Oh, now he loses time, or has lost time in sector 3.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, King Rowan is in pits.
Yes, the R8 driver. Yeah, that car can't be too good in the terms of tire wear. I'm not surprised either, so yeah. They're gonna struggle to do 3-stopper happen. We'll see what they decide to do. The back Roadrunner Joe has cycled back from their already their second pit stop. Looks like now they have a fight against the NSX driver here. Again, the straight line, and the Mustang has some good speed there, so looks like we might have a position change for P10. Yes, indeed. So Roadrunner Joe, well done there, up to P10 in the Mustang. Shorter of course back to P11 in the NSX. Okay, and we have a new fast lap. Henel did on 1:44.100, so it's nicely done. Slowly building a gap behind. For the moment, looks like Mensa in the Porsche can't quite keep up, and it's not surprising seeing their tire wear here.
And now Power is at the back of Shishaiman. Fight for P5. Yeah, Power gets a good exit. It could be enough for an overtake at the end of a straight.
Yes, it's gonna be very close.
Yeah, I think
they're just gonna back off here, and also RC She's is covering the inside line, so there's not much they can do. So they'll stay as they are for the moment. Yeah, the master driver Power SV definitely hasn't given up, so I feel like we might have a move coming up again on the next straight. Vice versa, so yeah, we'll see if they can get close enough to go for a move. They have more tire life, so now the Mercedes is gonna start to struggle with their tires. They basically only have like perhaps 10-15% left of their tires. And Bosworth is in the pits again. So yeah, they'll have to do perhaps some tire saving if they want to make the 3 stop happen.
Yeah, he's on a 3 stop, for sure.
Yeah.
Lap 25, 26 laps to go, perhaps only 25 laps to go, so that's definitely
just
a 3
one
stopper.
extra lap. That's true. Yeah. Right, let's see. So Power SV is gonna get very close here. Do they go for a move here? Looks like that Mercedes is having a fairly good straight line speed. And yes, they'll still stay ahead. Good fight still, so that's nice to see. But I think also
Power with a switchback.
They went wide. RCGs went wide, and then Power SV goes for the inside move. Can they make it happen? Now on the outside in this corner. Very good battle there, but they just cycle back. Like that corner, you just can't really pass from the outside in the similar car. So
yeah, but perhaps with a good exit he can attack now. Now he's on the inside, or not really next to him.
And then
GT7 covers the inside.
Yeah, even though it's nice to see, I hate to say it, but both are gonna lose time here as well. So
yes, now Power with a switchback, and he's in front. Goes Shisha down
again
inside.
on the outside.
Yes, still tries
and still loses
to fight
out. Very good fight here.
Yeah. Great battle, yeah, but we lose a lot of time.
Yes, that's for sure.
And Shisha has all the tires, so he still has to pit 2 more times. Power only 1 time. Now Power with a good exit, but I don't know if it's good if you overtake it before turn 1. Perhaps after. Now Power is a good exit.
But and again, now the Mercedes driver is gonna get the slipstream. Can they still go for a move here?
Yeah, but I think if Power covers the inside, then I think there's nothing possible for Shisha here.
Yeah, and also they definitely didn't get a good run for this small straight, so yes, they lose out here to fall back to P4. Good fight. Katie is in the pits as well as Schroeder in the NSX. So Katie cycles out to P9 just behind the Mustang driver, but yeah, the Mustang driver Roadrunner Joe is definitely on a 4 stopper from what it looks like. So that Mustang is very hungry. It likes to eat its tires. So
and we're back. Schröder is in the pits, or Schroeder. So well, the BMW is now not last, but I don't know how long it will last.
Okay, and Mensa is in the pits in the Porsche from P2. Let's see, they probably lose perhaps 1 position here. Also RC is in sorry, in the Mercedes. So let's see, Mensa comes out of the pits. Okay, they cycle out behind the Toyota, Amnil, and they're on a 2-stop strategy. So we'll see how it all works out. Also, Charles is now to P4 on track. They have to make 1 more pit stop. But I still think they're probably in a good position. Like, even though with the bad first few laps due to the damage, they still have a good chance to scrap something from this thing. So Okay, looks like we have more spread out field. There's the differences in strategies are starting to be discovered here, so we'll see how it ends up in the late race, like how it all plays out. So it's gonna be interesting to see, because we have basically drivers on 3 different strategies. I think 1 or 2 drivers are on 4 stops, and the rest are either on 2 or 3 stops, depending on the tire wear, basically. And then drivers also have different amounts of fuel, so it's gonna be hard to tell. Power's gonna end up, except for, I have to say, the Genesis driver in the lead is looking the strong favorite to win this stint here in this lobby. So okay, and they're also running into some lap traffic now for the first time, it looks like. So shorter ahead in the NSX, who just came to the pits, is gonna risk lose 1 lap here. The other than that is fairly spread out for the moment. Calm before the storm, like to call it. So perhaps we get some more fights in a little bit.
Now we're looking at the stream from the other lobby, lobby 2, where about a bit more than 3 minutes behind us.
Okay.
RRC Conrad is leading. He's doing a 3 stop, and he's even with 2 stops. He's still in front of Mega L, also for RRC, who tries a 2 stop.
Okay, that's so very interesting. There's
yeah, it's looking very good for Conrad at least. But I don't know how it will end with all the gaps together after 6 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to say. My rough prediction is that DLL Charles didn't lose enough time compared to their opposition in the first few laps. So they definitely lost over 30 seconds, but I mean, it looks like they're running good pace, so it might be that they may just be able to sneak away with the win if everything goes as it is going right now. So, but we'll see how it all plays out when the official results are published. Okay, and now Mensa is catching up DLL Charles. The Porsche driver is on fresher tires, so that's gonna help them here. They also just did a best lap 1:44.066. So
Dennis catching up to Charles, Charles catching up to Amnail, Amnail catching up to Powers. So that could be a close field for P2.
Yes, P2 and P3 are doing a 2-stopper, so it's gonna be very interesting because everyone's gonna make their last pit stop in the next let's say 10-20 minutes. So right, I think Roadrunner Joe is gonna come to the pit soon again. Their left front is about to be fully worn again, and they're running low on fuel. So they're down in P7, but even though they have to do more pit stops in the Mustang, I have to say they're still doing fairly decent pace, all things considered. So
now we have a fight for P3. P3 to P4, 1.5 seconds.
Yes, we're gonna have a fight on the
worst tires at the front, best tires at the back, so that should be an interesting fight to watch.
Yes, a net fight looks like Mensa in the Porsche in P5 has the advantage because they have more fuel. So, yeah. I think Charles might get up to P3 here, let's see.
But it will be very difficult to overtake the Supra on the straights.
Yeah, here you can see how strong the Supra is on the straights. It's just a little bit silly, some would say.
The acceleration of Supra is not very strong, but at the end of the straight, where Supra goes on and goes on and goes on, while our cars, try to stop at a certain speed.
Yeah, I think
especially in 6th gear.
Yeah, and also I think slightly also the 5th gear. So it's top gears
Charles,
are very strong.
He tries to dive, not really. I don't know if there was any contact, but
I
Charles,
think there was slight contact, but nothing too major. But
and Dennis is already at the rear of both.
Yes, he needs to be sensible here because he is on a better strategy. He has more fuel in the car, so. But at the same time, it's, of course, as a racing driver, you're thinking, I have fresh tires, I'm faster than these guys, I want to pass them both. But easier said than done, that's for sure. Yes,
there was a contact of Dennis Amner in, goes wide because of this contact, and Dennis overtook him. That was not fully clean.
Yeah, a bit of a naughty move, but they'll still make it happen, so. It's up to P4 in the Porsche, and I feel like the Porsche may go for a move, and DLL Charles perhaps soon. We'll see how their relative pace compared to each other is going to be. At least the Porsche driver behind has fresher tires, but then again, Charles has done very good pace here. Supra had a little bit of a look on the Porsche, but can't quite make it happen, and now I think they'll perhaps fall away from the drivers ahead. Right, we'll stay with this fight. So it looks like we might have next perhaps a fight between Charles and Mensa in the Porsche. Mercedes versus Porsche, so yeah.
Yeah, if we're back, I think there's no fights. Always 6, 8, 15 seconds more gaps.
Yeah.
So it's only P3 and 5 who are close together. Or let's say P3 and 4, I think Anna will lose time due to this tire wear. Or due to the strategy.
Yeah.
Both Charles and Dennis are gaining to power. So that will be also very interesting to watch.
Yeah, so Power has very badly worn tires, so they always struggle towards the end of the stints, but they'll still decide to do 2 stops, so it's probably the sensible thing to do. And looking at their lap times, they're doing perhaps slower pace than many in this lobby, but at the same time they're also saving a pit stop, so they're still doing a decent job.
I think there was a lobby crash in lobby 2. If I look at the stream, I don't know what happened there.
Okay, that's...
So it's not looking good there.
Yeah, that's too bad for them then. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a confirmed lobby crash.
Yes. Oh well, so... Yeah... Well, it's gonna surely have to restart, because as long as we don't get a lobby crash here, so should I probably have 30 minutes?
There will be no restart, because if we do restart, you can't compare this lobby now with our lobby one. So I think
that's true. Yes.
If crash was about 15 minutes, so I think on our lobby now will only count up to 15 minutes, and that's it. Because I think there's no other option how you can compare to both lobbies otherwise.
Yes, I think what might happen is this last thing is perhaps gonna be, I don't know, 32 laps, 31 laps, and then you'll compare the gaps from there. It's a possibility. And yes, meanwhile, nice move by Mensa, by the way, to P3 in the Porsche. So.
And if we only count up to lap 30, it's definitely an advantage for all drivers who did a two stop, because we only stopped one time and other drivers already did two stops, so, but yeah, it is how it is. I'm not sure how we calculate, but yeah, I think we should now race to the end.
Yeah, that's you're correct about the strategy. It's tough how to sort it out, really. So because definitely some drivers would have been much closer to each other here, perhaps, or then other drivers would lose more if the race the stint kept on. The stint would be counted, you know, properly, like using the 90 minutes. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out then. What the Horner team is deciding to do. Okay, the leader is in the pits. It's gonna be their last pit stop, and surely Power SV has to pit on this lap. But now they're gonna have a tough time here.
So
in the end of the race,
pits, same as Power.
Yeah, but Power's gonna have a tough time in the end of the race because they're always losing time in the
and he has to fuel up a bit more. So yeah, I think he will jump by Charles and.
Yes, but this again,
Dennis.
The interesting bit, like depending on due to the lobby 2 crash, it's gonna be interesting how the gaps and times are counted for this last stint, because I mean I would say definitely Power SV would gain, you know, if the it was cut short, because they basically had done less than 2 pit stops before the crash happened in the other lobby. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So there's always gonna be winners and losers if things like that happen, but yeah. Okay, Namnel is also in the pits, in the Supra, actually coming out of the pits now. Right, so Menzel is slightly pulling away from Charles. The gap is over 1 second now between them. And also Charles is running really low on fuel. I feel like they might pit at the end of this lap or then do one more lap. Okay, Charles is in the pits. Let's see how much fuel do they need to put in the car. Probably quite a lot. Put some fresh tires on, so we'll see where they cycle out. There, the DLL is the overall leader, so. Okay, Eddie Confi is saying that according to the rules this lobby needs to be red flagged as well now. I think now would be a good moment, maybe. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you have to do it basically as ASAP, so then I think the results will be counted then based on the gaps compared to each other between the lobbies, so yeah. Okay, do a red flag and then we have a 30-minute races. What Config just typed.
Oh, so. That's close. Charles, Power and King Rowan.
Yeah, so I think you should probably red flag this and then we'll have a 30-minute race for both the lobbies.
Charles did a mistake.
Yes. But hey, they're saying we should red flag this and then we have a 30-minute stint. So yeah, I think just need to cancel and then we'll save the replay and whatever.
I'm asking configure what to do then.
Okay. Wonder how well it's not my concern perhaps, but will be interesting to see how the gaps will be adjusted for the last 30-minute push, because depending on strategy it's gonna be very different where you were on track. So yeah, so Charles went to the pits and also had a mistake, but they're right close by Amnal in the Super here. It's a fight for P7 here, so right, so for the moment looks like we have a fight in P7 here between Charles and Amnal. Supra is very strong again in a straight, but not quite close enough to go for a move. So Charles stays ahead in P7. Okay, Bosworth in the pits. They also have a half-second penalty. Now they're coming out. So we'll see where they cycle out. This was their last pit stop. Okay, they come out in P5, so okay, we have a fight for the lead here. We have Genesis versus Porsche here. Porsche driver also has to come to the pit soon, so yeah, that's for sure.
So Dennis goes into the pits. Let's see if he can come out in front of Charles or behind him.
Yes.
It could be also close with Power, I think. And even Bosworth on a free stop strategy jumped Power.
Yeah, Bosworth has had very good pace here. Seen the lap times there being in the 44s, very often low 45s. So that's good pace around here.
So let's see. Dennis is at the pit exit. He looks like to jump all of them or stay in front of them. Yes.
Okay, so Paris V is right behind Bosworth now. They might go for a move here, and that would be a P4 for this stint. Okay, they decide to stay behind for now. So Bosworth stays in P4. Right, so I don't know, I guess we'll keep this lobby running, but what might happen is after this is done, we have the replay saved and whatnot, and then everyone will have the gaps, so maybe not running parallelly. I'm not sure what the final decision is, but it might be that we cut basically the last stint in smaller bits, or they say 1 hour stint, and then you have gaps, and then 30-minute stint, and then you have gaps. But yeah, we'll see what it's gonna be. So yeah, so honestly I think we just keep this lobby running, because when you have the access to the replay, we have better idea of the exact gaps of everyone. So and then of course every driver
times or gaps for a certain amount of laps or time.
Yeah, and then like also every driver of course should know their gaps, but at the same time, in case we need, you know, backup data or something, like if some driver forgot it or something, then it's good to have the replays. So. Yeah, the Genesis has been very impressive in this stint. They have almost a 40-second lead here, so that's very nicely done for them. Yeah, so if everything goes well, we'll get results for lobby 1 for this stint 4, but the lobby 2 will have to do a 30-minute shootout. I think it's if we can make this lobby run until the end, I don't think there's perhaps any point that we'll restart. So, but it's gonna be interesting to see how you balance it out, because it's perhaps a slightly different situation. If you have 1 hour and 30 minutes stint compared to having 30 minute and 1 hour stint, like, it's a good point. I'm seeing the chat that for our Discord, it looks like actually that drivers who can do 70 laps on the softs are gonna have a big advantage if you do a restart for around 30 minutes stint. So right, not too much fighting is going on at the moment. Charles is perhaps catching up Power SB in the Mazda. Yes, it's probably our next fight. It looks like gap is now less than 1.5 seconds between those two.
So now I can confirm lobby 1 will go to the end to save replay probably, but it will only count up to lap 28.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think the problem is that lobby 2 crashed at lap 28, so that's, yeah, probably how it is. I really feel lobby crashes happen, but I really feel a little bit sorry for all the 3-stoppers, because most 3-stop drivers would have just made their second pit stop in a 28 lap window, but yeah, it is what it is. It's annoying these type of things keep happening in this game. So okay, so Charles, yes,
catching to Power.
Yeah, so there's an 8/10 gap now, so perhaps the next straight they're gonna have a chance to go for a move. That would be P4 for this stint, so a good fight back despite the first stint troubles, and they would definitely be way up in P2 for this stint if that hadn't happened.
Possible we could have a fight for last position. The BMW Z4 driver against the Honda N6 up for P11. Only 1.5 second gap between them.
Yeah, that's a good point. We might have that fight as well. There's still 11 more minutes to go roughly, so yeah, let's see. Charles is very close on the straight here compared to the Mazda. Let's see, are they gonna be close enough to go for a move? Interestingly enough, even though they have the slipstream, they're not catching up. Not catching up too much, so they're gonna stay behind in P5. Right, so I'm Charles up to P4 now. So well done by them, and now Power SV is actually, I think, maybe in a slight risk to fall back to a P6 as well, because the Mazda seems to be a little bit worse on the tires than a Supra, but...
Yes, I think his teammate Amnail could catch up to him.
Yes, but we'll see, there's still a bit of a gap, and also Amnail also, they don't have that much better tires, so we'll see. Schroeder got fairly close to Robin, but now they have a half-second penalty. This is the fight for an 11th place, so now the gap is again roughly around 1.5 seconds. Right, so Charles is pulling away slightly from the Power SV in the Mazda, so the gap is now 1.6 seconds, so looks like Charles will be good for P4 for this stint. They can avoid further mistakes. And that is fairly spread out, but yeah, from the overall standings I'm not really sure how it's gonna play out, but perhaps DLL is still their favorite to win the 6 hours when everything's all said and done, but yeah, we'll have to see. Do we have any fights going on? Doesn't seem like it. But Power SV is not giving up on Charles. They're still fairly close here. Just 1.1 seconds is the gap now, so. So 6 more minutes to go. So yeah. That's like probably like 4 more laps or something, depending on where we are on the track, so.
I think most of them will come into lap 51, at least top 5, 6. I think for Kitty at P7 it could be close.
Yeah, it's gonna be very close actually for them.
We have also a fight at P9, King Roan against Cavajo. King Roan in front, but has more tire wear than Cavajo.
Yeah, this is the, well, I don't want to say advantage, but the Mustang has had to do so many more pit stops than the rest of the field. Well, at least one pit stop more, but at the same time they have now fresher tires than some of the drivers, so yeah, they may have a chance to go for the move already on this lap. Let's see. Even into the bus stop chicane, because the Mustang looks fairly strong in a straight line, and also they have the slipstream now. Let's see. Go for the outside. Okay, so they'll stay behind for now, but they definitely have much more grip in the tires because they are much fresher, so. Right, so the Audi R8 looks fairly strong in the corners, but still, yeah, they have more tire wear, so they just can't shake off the Mustang. So I expect a move happening very soon.
Oh, Caballo side by side with King Roan. And behind them Flipsy is coming.
Yes. For now the R8 stays ahead, but they're really struggling to stay ahead.
Great exit and goes in front of King Roan.
Yeah, nice move there.
A little bit.
That's the advantage of having fresher tires. So good move, nevertheless. Yeah. So up to P9.
Especially rear tires of a Audi.
Yeah, that
looking good.
Yeah, that car can't be fun to drive when you have more worn. The rear tires are more worn than that thing, because I mean, yeah, it's mid-engine, so those are always a little bit sketchy to drive if you have more rear tire wear. So well done there. You have any other fights? Bosworth is half-second penalty in P3. It's probably kind of trivial at this point. Yeah, looks like Roman Joe is gonna pull away in the Mustang, having more fresh tires. So at the same time, it's well, okay. Funnily enough, the R8 has roughly the same amount of front tire wear, but the rear tire wear is much worse than the R8, so that's where they're struggling. Right. Let's take a look at the leaders here. So Bosworth, I'm gonna say, served the half-second penalty on this lap. So they, well, maybe 7 or 8 tenths was what you lose here. So nothing too severe. So they'll stay at P3 for this stint. So. What do you think of the liveries in this lobby? Which would be your favorite one?
Oh, King Roan is struggling with his tires. Front left is dead.
Yeah, the Master front left tire is very much dead, but they may just perhaps come over the line in a P5. They have to do one more lap actually, so yeah, they can avoid mistakes. TRG Power SB is gonna be 5th for this stint, so okay, let's see. Kate is gonna be very close. They can get an extra lap. Looks like they just might actually. Yeah, so they do a 51st lap, and RC Shees is, let's see, they finished the race, so 50 laps for them. So yeah, P8 for them. Then we're gonna have Roadrunner Joe here in P9, about to finish their race, as well as the leader right behind them. So yeah, the Mustang driver got a P9 here, so not too bad given that they had to do an extra pit stop. Yes, well done by Henel here in the DLL Genesis, taking the stint victory here in the Gen. So yeah, roughly around a 37-second gap is what they had here. So, and we have P2 here coming over the line soon in the Porsche here. Yes, good job P2 for them this stint, so it's nicely done. Yeah, Bosworth finishing there up in the pink Renault, and Charles right behind them, P4. So very good job by them despite the struggles on the first few laps.
Oh, Power is way has no fuel left. And I think Stint stays behind him.
He was pushed by the finish line by the teammate. That's what I call teamwork. Nicely done. Reckon what maybe also happened was perhaps they were having team intercoms, so yeah, they would know that their teammate in the other car was struggling, so in terms of fuel.
So I think that's the end for now. I'm saving the replay to
Yes,
let's see what we calculate afterwards.
Yeah, we'll see. So yes, for you viewers, here are the gaps, the results for this lobby 1 stint 4 here. So DLL takes the stint win here in the Genesis. Then we have Mense in second in the Porsche. Alex Bosworth for the RX team in the pink Renault, they take third here. DLL Charles, despite losing over 30 seconds on the first few laps, fights back to a respectable P4 here. Then we have the GTF cars. They're very close to each other, just over a minute behind the leader, and then just on the lead lap is Katie there in the GTR, and RC Shees is in P8 in the Mercedes. Then here are the rest of the positions. So the Mustang is P9 there, RDR8 P10, and then we have the Z4 just beating the Honda NSX for P11 here. Yeah, I agree, config doesn't really matter, but anyway, yeah. Maybe as a driver you still like to think of the overall driving in this stint, despite it won't matter in the final results. So as a driver myself, I would always, take pride how I have done in my stint, even though it would be trivial in some sense. So yeah, thanks for watching this DS 6-hour event, and I hope you enjoyed the streams. We had some good fights overall, and different strategies coming into factor here as well for this stint. So yeah, I think that's it. Do you have anything more you want to add, Eddie?
Yeah, I think I have work to do now. To see what we are doing with time, so
yeah, alright.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you for participating in the 6-hour race, and we will see, I don't know, 4 weeks, 1 month, WEC series, multi-class series in what?
It's 10-hour race at Road Atlanta. Yes.
Petit Le Mans aka Road Atlanta. I think, which is not very good for multi-class, so I think it could be very interesting. Yeah,
the lap traffic action is gonna be something interesting to follow as well there. So yeah, it's a very narrow and fast track, especially the GR010s are very quick in the quick corners, while the GT3 cars are definitely not in comparison. So yeah, that will be interesting to see. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you again roughly, I think in 3 weeks time we have the quali for Road Atlanta. So yeah, take care and have a good night.